Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, 11th chapter, text 54 onwards. Sutva tadvismita gopa gopya chati priya dridaha pratyagatam ivo sukyad aikyanda trisite kshana. When the coward men and women heard about the killing of Bakasura in the forest, they were very much astonished. Upon seeing Krishna and hearing the story, they received Krishna very eagerly, thinking that Krishna and the other boys had returned from the mouth of death. And thus they looked upon Krishna and the boys with silent eyes, not wanting to turn their eyes aside now that the boys were safe. In the purport, Prabhupada Maharaj says that because of intense love for Krishna, the cowherd men and women simply remained silent, thinking of how Krishna and the boys had been saved. The cowherd men and women looked upon Krishna and the boys and didn't desire to turn their eyes aside. So Vishwanath Thakur Sarartha Darshan says that the Gopas and Gopis were very pleased to see their most beloved Krishna with eyes thirsting to drink the nectar of Krishna's beauty. They glanced at him, looking over his whole body for fear that he was wounded. So, Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Vaishnava Goswami says that hearing this, the cowherd men and women were surprised and immersed in great affection. They gazed at him with attachment. This means that they became blissful on seeing from him for a long time, because their eyes were never satisfied fully. The reason for looking at him with attachment and affection was that it was as if he had come back from death. They thought in this way because of a great affection, or the thought of him like a friend who had returned from death. Or the gopis were astonished. Cha here means but. They were distinguished from the coward by their intense prema. They were respected by Krishna, who was most dear and precious as he glanced at them. Thus they gazed at him with longing, with unsatisfied eyes. Or during the day in separation, their eyes were thirsty for seeing him, and on hearing that he had killed Baka, they especially gazed at him with attachment. In this way, the Brajavasis were reacting upon hearing this news of killing of Bakasura. It will be explained in several verses. In verse 55 it is said, Aho batasya bharasya bahavo mrutyavo avavan api asit vipriyam tesam kritam purvam jato bhayam. That means the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj began to contemplate. It is very astonishing that although this boy Krishna has many times faced many varied causes of death, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it was these causes of fear that were killed instead of him. So in the purport, Prabhupada Maharaj says that the cowherd man innocently thought because our Krishna is innocent, and the causes of death that appeared before him were themselves killed instead of Krishna. This is the greatest grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu Thakur Sarartha Sindhika says, 3 verses describe the amazement of the cowherd men in discussing Krishna's exploits. This boy Krishna had faced many causes of death, but these causes of fear were killed and not our innocent boy. So this in Jiva Goswami in Laghu Vaishnava Darshan says that the cowherd speak till verse 58. They these verses will be explained separately. The cowherd men began speaking with amazement among themselves. Also, Aho expresses astonishment and Bhatha expresses lamentation. There have been many causes of death for this young boy. They call him Balasya out of affection. Siddhaswami explains that demons were killed because they caused fear in others. Another explain of the last phrase is they were killed because after coming they first caused Krishna fear. So in verse 56 it is said, Athapi abhibhavanti enam naivate ghor darshana jighansaya enam asadya nasyanti agnu patangavat. Although the causes of death, the Daityas were very fierce, they could not kill this boy Krishna. Rather, because they came to kill innocent boys, as soon as they approached, they themselves were killed, exactly like flies attacking a fire. And the purport of Prabhupada Maharaj says that Nanda Maharaj innocently thought perhaps this boy Krishna formerly killed all these demons and therefore in this life they are envious and are attacking him. But Krishna is a fire and they are flies, and in a fight between fire and flies, the fire is always victorious. Fighting is always taking place between the demons and the power of the Supreme Personality. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya chatusmrutam, stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Anyone who is against the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be killed, life after life. Ordinary living beings are subject to karma, but Supreme Personality of Godhead is always victorious over the demons. So, Srivas Vishwanath Thakur Sarada Sindhika says, Nanda Maharaj innocently thought, perhaps, yes, Prabhupada Maharaj quoted this. And Sripad Jivan Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Vaishnava Darshan says that though they came to harm him, they couldn't, even though Baka and others looked fierce. What to speak of their actions? Eva indicates certainty. They speak like ordinary people out of great affection for Krishna. This is not a fault. Not only this, they were immediately killed. Many demons came from somewhere but were suddenly killed like moths entering a flame. So, in the next verse, it said, Aho Brahmavidam Vacho Nasatyaha Shanti Kvachit Gargo Jataha Bhagavan Anubhavi Tativa Tat. The words of persons in full knowledge of Brahman never become untrue. It is very wonderful that whatever Gargamuni predicted, we are now actually experiencing in all detail. Prabhupada Maharaj in the purport says, the purpose of human life is indicated in the Brahma Sutra, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. To make one's life perfect in the past, present and future, one must learn about Brahman. Because of intense affection, Nanda Maharaj couldn't understand Krishna as he is. Gargamuni was able to know everything, past, present and future, by studying the Vedas. But Nanda Maharaj couldn't understand Krishna directly. Because of intense love for Krishna, he forgot what Krishna was, who Krishna was, and couldn't understand Krishna's potency. Although Krishna is Narayan himself, Gargamuni didn't disclose this. Thus, Nanda Maharaj appreciated the words of Gargamuni, but because of his deep affection, he couldn't understand who Krishna was, although Vargamuni had said that Krishna's qualities would be exactly like those of Narayana. So, whereas Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Vaishnava Dosani says that though they knew the greatness of Krishna, they didn't recognize him as the Lord out of great affection. He is some great person. They confirmed their thoughts with Garga's words. Aho indicates astonishment. The words of the devotees who know that the meaning of the Vedas are never untrue. What is said has been experienced because Nanda was a great devotee and had great affection for his friends. He revealed to the cowards a little of Garga's words glorifying Krishna, though they were secret words. This increased their affection for Krishna since they had natural affection for him. So in the 58th verse it is said, Iti Nanda Deyo Gopaha Krishna Rama Gathamuda Kurbanto Ramamanasya Naibandan Bhavavayadana. In this way, all the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj enjoyed topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure, and they couldn't even perceive material tribulations. Prabhupada Maharaj in purport says that here is an instruction about the result of studying or discussing the Krishna Lilas that appear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shraddhya Hrudya Avardhyatyatra Kruti Vishwasushif Tatkhinat, stated in first Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, text 2. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda in Vrindavan appear like ordinary persons of this material world, but they never felt the tribulations of this world, although they sometimes meet many dangerous situations created by the demons. This is a practical example. If we follow in the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. Prabhupada Maharaj further says, Anathopasamusakshad bhakti yogamadukyaje lokasya janda vidvan chakre satat sangitam, as stated in Bhagavad first canto 7th chapter text 6. Vyasadeva has given this literature so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Katha. Even at the present moment, everyone everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulations by following Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared Sarvatmasnaparam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. But by our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be absorbed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be free from all material tribulations. So, Sanatana Goswami and Brihad Vaishnava Dosani says, in this way they enjoyed topics. Though Balaram was not the subject of these discussions, both are mentioned because out of affection they were considered one. Krishna is mentioned first since he is most prominent, or they spoke enjoyable topics about Krishna. Katha is seen in place of Katham. Sometimes they spoke, they enjoyed the topics, or they played with Krishna. They didn't know the suffering of the material world, or to speak of experiencing it. This is the So I'd like to stop here with a request to subscribe, share, and like our channel, and give blessings to God. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.